On December 6, 1979, in a hospital in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a couple who had just moved to Alabama to escape the cold of the North was about to give birth to their precious daughter. Little did they know what awaited them after labor. After some time, the couple welcomed a beautiful baby girl who they named Katy. What they weren't expecting was that Katy would be born a bilateral transfemoral amputee, which means she was missing both of her lower legs. Her parents were so supportive that they encouraged her to try any and everything that she wanted. So that's what Katy did, all the time. And then, as a child, Katy saw a production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it was all she wrote. In that moment, Katy decided that she was going to be an actress. Katy begged her parents to let her audition for plays, but her parents, who were still a little cautious, tried to warn her that she might not be exactly what the casting directors are looking for. But then they heard her sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and she was cast immediately. Katy spent the next 10 years doing any and everything in the theater, from building sets to stage management, anything she can do just to be involved in the process. Katy eventually earned her master's degree in fine arts from the Western University in St. Louis. Then, she won a part in a play directed by Philip Seymour Hoffman at the prestigious Goodman Theater in Chicago. Katy moved to Chicago in 2004, where she decided to take her career in a new direction. Katy actually did the last thing anyone ever expected her to do. She was at one point gifted a pair of custom prosthetic legs, and from there she decided that she was going to try running. Initially, she was going to try running just for the exercise. She wanted to just see where these legs would take her. At first, Katy struggled to adjust to her new legs, but Katy was never anything if not always persistent and never gave up. Unfortunately, she did suffer from a very serious fall which badly damaged her back, and so Will Yule, her prosthetist from Hanger Prosthetics and Orthotics, recommended that she go to Rancho Los Amigos National Rehabilitation Center for rehabilitation. The Rehabilitation Center is a very prestigious and well-known one in those circles. She attended Rancho and she worked with a physical therapist named Julie Casayama. Julie taught Katy how the mechanics of running with prosthetics is very different from running with the legs that you're born with. In fact, you exert 3 times more energy as an amputee trying to run on prosthetics than you do as a person who was born with legs. So day by day, week by week, month by month, Katy got better and better and continued to practice running on her legs. Rancho was also where Katy met her future husband, who was also a fellow patient there, Jay Kramer. Once Katy was better, she started running track in track meets, quickly becoming a rising star. In 2007, Katy participated both in the Parapan Games in Rio de Janeiro and in the Paralympic National Championships, breaking world records. She was among one of the first bilateral above-the-knee amputees to compete in the Paralympics in ambulatory track, where she also ran in London in the 2012 Paralympic Games. And then, unfortunately, fate took Katy's hand in a whole nother direction when she contracted mononeucleosis, and her hopes of competing in the 2008 Paraplegic Games in China were absolutely dashed. Katy put her dreams on hold for another day and focused back on her acting career. Katy was busy working in movies and television, and indie films, and stage productions, and all of these things in LA. She appeared in theater productions such as The Long Red Road at the Goodman Theater in Chicago and Finish Line, a documentary play about the 2013 Boston Marathon. While Katy was out of the race, she didn't realize that she had actually inspired many other W amputees to join the Olympics, and upon her return, she felt a very big sense of pride when she saw how many had actually started running. And then she also won the US Paralympic Championship. Her victory earned her a spot on the American team for the Olympics the next year. In November of 2015, Sullivan received the Athletics and Excellence Award from the Foundation for Global Sports Development in recognition of both her community service efforts and her work with youth, which I guess technically still is community service. Back on the acting front, Sullivan earned rave reviews for her work in the play Cost of Living. Cost of Living is a 2018 Pulitzer Prize-winning play by writer Martina Majok, where Katy originated the role of Annie. Annie is the ex-wife of an unemployed truck driver who struggled with alcoholism and caregiving. Cost of Living made its debut at the Williamstown Theater Festival in 2016. It ran off-Broadway in 2017 at the Manhattan Theater Club stage and then moved in 2022 to the Samuel J. Friedman Theater on Broadway. Katy also co-created Sully Flynn Productions with fellow Webster grad Becca Flynn White. They produce online comedy content, they do skits, short films, and are developing a comedy short called Legs based on their own life experiences. Katy was nominated in the category of Best Performance by an actress in a featured role in a play. And with this role and this nomination, Sullivan became the first ever actress who was an amputee to perform on Broadway, and then the first ever Tony-nominated amputee in general. And that was Katy Sullivan, first ever Tony-nominated amputee in Broadway. If you would like to know more about the history behind some of your favorite musicals, you can click on the History Behind the Musical playlist to keep on enjoying the history. If you'd like something else, then YouTube, I'm sure, has suggested you a video that you personally would enjoy. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.